All right, welcome back, everybody, to Tour Talk, episode 4, where we break down everything that happened in the last week on your favorite tours. Jordy, how are you doing today?
Not bad at all.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we're just going to jump right into it because there is some pretty crazy news on Friday. Tiger Woods getting into another car crash. This one not nearly as scary, but talk me through you freaking out and yelling at me from your office on Friday.
Well, news comes out, Tiger's been in another crash. Obviously, everyone's thinking the worst after the last car crash. And it turned out it wasn't too bad, just him driving like a imbecile, really.
Yeah, I don't know why he... So reports have come out afterwards that he refuses to hire a driver, but I just think that it's probably necessary at this point, do you think?
Well, that is the talk of the town. Everyone is saying that he should be hiring a driver, and I don't know, maybe he should I think he should.
Yeah, probably. Considering that he A, blew zeros, so he wasn't drunk. B, there's nothing really wrong with him because he was compliant and talking to the officers there or whatever, but I just don't understand. Like, how do you even flip a car going not even fast, apparently?
Well, word came out he was driving erratically, driving fast, went to go around somebody on a 2-lane road and then had to swerve again to not cause another accident, and that's when he flipped the car.
Oh, I see. All right. Well, what do you think he was on? Because everyone is trying to debate this, whether he was on drugs or on something, because he refused a piss test. So what's your take on it?
Well, he blew 0.00, and then the cops might have had it out for him, so they're trying to get him to come back to the station, do a urine or a blood test, and he had probably... I'm guessing whoever he was standing in the trees talking to on the phone was his lawyer.
Yeah, probably.
So his lawyer probably advised him, don't do anything, do the breathalyzer because you haven't been drinking, and then anything else, refuse.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like part of that is, they want to tear him down because, like, even the media are, like, portraying this image that Tiger Woods is just the biggest loser ever. Which,
yeah, I think it's ridiculous. I mean, give the guy his day in court, and if they find him guilty, great, but painting him guilty without any sort of trial or anything, I think is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, if you think about it from the perspective of, like, without golf, really he's got your sketchy uncle vibe going right now, just because he loves the women, loves the drugs, and if he wasn't the best in the world, I don't know if he wouldn't be a loser, to be honest.
Well, when you've had that many surgeries and you've got that, back pain can be, from what I hear, some of the worst pain on the entire planet. So, I know he's probably taking painkillers.
Definitely.
He's definitely taken them in the past.
Yeah.
So, depending on how many painkillers were in his system, who knows? It might have been a little, might have been a lot.
Yeah, fair. Do you you don't think there's a possibility that he's on the lewds or anything crazier than that?
I doubt it. I would just my thoughts would be he's on painkillers for all the... You got to think this guy is absolutely beaten down. Almost lost his leg. Knee surgeries, many back surgeries, Achilles, his foot's dropped. Like, there is so many things that probably hurt on this guy that of course he's going to be on some painkillers.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, yeah, he wasn't injured, which is good, but I do unfortunately think that this is probably going to nail in the coffin that he's not going to play at the Masters, but what do you think?
He has not said he is or isn't playing. There was news that came out that he is signed up for the U.S. Senior Open.
Is that true?
That's what we heard on that morning.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't see him playing in the Masters anymore after that. But
He was out practicing the next day.
yeah, I still don't see it. If he does, then that would be cool, and it would add to his story. And maybe he just did it on purpose to add to the Masters comeback.
There is some talk out there that he might have done this and then come back and win the Masters, but I think that's a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, that's hooey, I think. But either way, the real story this week, the representative out of Canada, Manitoba, our guy, don't know how to say his name, Sudarjan Marju, T6 this week again.
Don't think that's the real story.
Okay, well, we'll get to the real story afterwards, but he
Sardajan Yelamaraju.
All right, yeah, you said it better than me this time, so I'll give you that. But yeah, T6 this week, pretty awesome. He is proving that he's not just a one-hit wonder, I think.
I think this guy could be the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing better than everyone else out of Canada, so
Definitely.
Can't hate on him. He's definitely, T6 this week, T5 at the Players, T17 at Cognizant. He's doing well. He's playing some really good golf.
He is playing like he's could step up and win a tournament here soon.
Yeah, I really hope he does, because that would really seal the deal on him being legit, and it would get him on tour for at least a lot longer. But I guess the real story. We'll get to the real story. Okay, so Gary Woodland. If you don't love a good comeback story, you need to leave now because it's great. He had a tumor, pretty large one, that was causing some crazy symptoms: severe headaches, fear, anxiety, seizures, hand tremors. I don't know how in the world you play golf with all that going on.
Well, he had to stop playing golf. It was so bad. He was having all kinds of issues, like, I don't know if it was panic attacks, but he was like fearful and just the craziest things happening. That's how they found out that he was going through this stuff. And then when they found the tumor, he had to have brain surgery.
Yeah, crazy story, honestly. I didn't, he went into it not thinking that he would ever play golf again, which is fair. I mean, there's some pretty crazy stuff going on with that. But, I don't know. I don't even know how you get through that at the age of 42, because, most people would assume their career is over.
Well, the crazier thing is going into the surgery, there was a great risk that he might not even walk again after this.
Yeah, I didn't hear that until earlier today, but that's
so absolutely unbelievable that he came back. He's fighting PTSD from all the trauma that he's been through, and then to come back and win in an absolute dominant fashion, also saying that he's playing possibly the best golf that he's ever played, is absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, winning by 5 strokes alone is pretty impressive with nothing going on. But with everything going on, he looked great. He's swinging loose. You were telling me earlier that he hit 196 miles per hour ball speed, which is, for you guys that don't know your numbers, that is absolutely insane. Like bigger than Bryson numbers in his heyday. So you got to give him props for that. He's also 42, so swinging that fast at 42 is awesome. Great guy. Glad he pulled it out with especially a pretty sick story.
Well, he's a tour favorite. Everybody loves him. You could tell even they were chanting his name coming up the 18th hole. The guys in his group were hanging back so that he could bask in the glory. It was awesome. It was great to see. He's a great player and couldn't happen to a better guy.
Yeah, honestly, awesome. Talk me through what his driver was, because you were telling me about how he's got a pretty crazy driver setup.
So he's playing a Cobra game improvement driver.
Yeah.
Dialed down to 6 degrees. He's got an extremely heavy shaft that's tipped 2 inches, extra stiff, and absolutely bombing it.
Yeah, he's using a steel rod. He's got all the weight in the very back of the head, super game improvement, I guess. But yeah, it was 6 degrees, and then add the spin of the game improvement. It's been sick. Like, he was pumping it. So pretty cool. Most people don't really go that route with drivers on tour, especially a lot of guys want their weight all in the front, so they get lower spin just off the head by itself. So pretty crazy. That's, a win for the tinkerers, I guess. Anyone out there that loves messing with their clubs, try it out. Maybe it'll work for you. Maybe it'll be a little life hack to get your spin dialed and hit the ball farther with maximum forgiveness. So.
Well, he does have a new sponsor. It's all Cobra stuff. So he was saying that he tried all the drivers and finally got down to their game improvement one, and that was the one with the best numbers.
Well, dude, I saw on I don't know what the club testing site is. I forget what it's called, but they said that the Cobra drivers this year, their LS, like the lowest spin, the hardest one to hit, is more forgiving in terms of shot pattern than last year's most forgiving driver, which was like the Ping 440K big driver, like their big game improvement one. So Cobra is crushing it apparently with their new drivers, and I'm kind of hoping I get to try one here soon. It seems like it's pretty crazy forgiving for having such a small head and looking as good as it does.
Well, we can probably help you out with that. We'll find you a local demo day here in town,
true.
and you can go out with Joe Weekend and hit some of those balls.
Or maybe when Kiefer gets his new clubs, I'll go steal his driver and see what's up. But yeah, speaking of cool wins, winning in dramatic fashion, talk to me about the Champions Tour this week.
Oh, the Champions Tour, Stuart Sink.
Yeah, the hat tan line specialist.
Some of the best hat tan lines you're gonna find on any tour.
Yeah, he's a great guy to watch, especially when he takes his hat off.
Great player. Pretty much ran the table with everybody.
Yeah, he won by, what was it, 4 strokes, I think. 4 strokes, pretty sick. But the real, the one that piqued my interest was Zach Johnson. Again, back in the top 3. He tied for second with Ernie Els. Still down 4 strokes, but that puts him first 3 starts on tour. He's got 3 top 3 finishes with a win. So the guy's playing great golf.
Well, there's a thing that happens when guys turn 50. If they've still got game, they're going to compete in many, many events on the Champions Tour. If they still got game, they're going to be right there because they're playing against anybody from 50 to 75 plus years old.
Yeah, I think you should try and get on the Champions Tour.
I've seen them play, and I don't think I'd have a hope, but maybe in another 7 years.
Yeah, you got time.
I'd have to dedicate myself to the game and leave the Great White North here.
Dude, maybe we should just make that a series where you're just working your way to the senior tour.
Chasing the Champions Tour.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Well, anyways, the last tour we want to talk about, which we normally don't, but the LPGA Tour, we have a new baller kind of taking over the lead spot this year. Hojo Kim, I think you say it. Back-to-back wins, defending her title at the Ford Championship, beating out Nelly Korda again. She did it last week, did it this week. She's playing great golf. But have you watched any of the LPGA Tour lately?
I was checking out this one on the weekend. I think it's Hyo-Ju Kim.
Oh. And
this could be a rivalry we see a lot.
Yeah, because Nelly is playing really good golf. Despite, being only one-time winner in the last 14 months or whatever it is, but she's always in the top 5 pretty much, and she is playing electric. And she would have won 3 in a row if it wasn't for Kim.
So the crazy thing is her stats are better than her 2024 season when she had 5 wins. So everything in her game is better than the 2024 season.
When she won Player of the Year.
Yes. And she has won one tournament in that time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that tells you the level of game that is stepping up on the LPGA Tour is unmatched, really.
Yeah, people hate on it just because they're the ladies, but I would challenge anyone that's a plus handicap to go and play a match against one of them and see what happens, because they are not to slouch at. I think they're, what did she win at -28 or whatever? So they're shooting scores.
Nelly was -25. Hyo Ju Kim was -28. Like those, it doesn't matter what course you're on. You got to hit wedges and make putts to be that deep.
Yeah, it's true. And they don't miss fairways either, which is a scary thought. But Live Tour, there was nothing this week. We got to wait till middle of April to get that back going in Mexico City. So we're excited for that. I honestly haven't told you this yet, but since we've started watching the Live Tour, I'm loving it a little bit more than all the other ones. Like the vibe is just electric. I never really gave it the light of day before, but now that I am, it is so much more fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, Live is not everything happens in the first year. Now we're getting into, I believe, the third year for Live.
I think so, yeah.
And they got some great storylines unfolding. The competition is there. You got Bryson playing well, AK with a win. You got Rombo playing well. I mean, this is, and just the countries and cities they're going to, these people don't get big golf tournaments from the PGA Tour. And I think this is where the PGA Tour has screwed up a bit, and Live has come in to fill the void.
Yeah, I was talking with my brother on the weekend, and he mentioned that a good part of Live is that they took all the personality from the PGA Tour, all the ballers that, had some pizzazz, for lack of a better term, ended up on the Live Tour. And now I just fear that they might have missed the boat a little bit with the first 2 years being kind of meh. But what do you think going forward? Because I think people don't give it the light of day anymore.
Oh, I think with the Saudi money there, they're not going to run out of money. The sad thing is a couple of the big names have now left. Patrick Reed, Brooks Koepka, but you still have a ton of guys out there that are playing really well. The tournaments are starting to heat up. You're starting to get the competition, and what was lacking the first couple years is starting to change. And I think they've got a bright future.
Yeah, well, I hope so, because it is entertaining to watch, and it's a lot more fun than what's going on the PGA Tour. There's a lot more energy. People are getting more excited. People care more. And it's surprising because a lot of people were hating on them because they get paid so much money that they don't care anymore. But I would say it's the opposite now. Like, people care, and it's fun, and the team events are awesome.
One of the only things that I find annoying when you're watching the coverage, I think it would be different if you were actually on the grounds watching, but is the music pumping, and you're trying to watch it on TV, and it gets a little bit annoying. I think if you were at the event and you're part of the party, it wouldn't be too bad. But when you're watching it on TV, it's not my favorite part of the tour.
Yeah, I've heard that in-person Live is on another level, which I think is what they focused on for a while. And it worked for in-person. So when you're there, it's great. On TV, the music does get kind of annoying. But at the same time, like, I think maybe that's what's inducing the energy. So if that's what's doing it, then I can't even hate on it, to be honest.
Well, Adelaide was absolutely one of the best tournaments in probably the last 5 or 10 years with AK, with the big comeback victory. Then they're down in South Africa. The South Africans are they were going crazy.
Yes.
Similar to Adelaide. And it was just another great event for them. So we'll see what happens this week.
Yeah, I'm excited for Mexico City to see if they kind of bring the same energy.
Is that this weekend or?
No, it's after the Masters, April 16th or something. But yeah, I'm excited to see if they can kind of follow up these last two, because they've been absolutely electric. So if they can, and it keeps going this direction, I think people out there should be giving it the light of day because it's awesome to watch. I think that if they delayed the time that it's, live or whatever, like you're not watching it live, but producing it within the day here for the ones that are overseas at least would be better just because it's hard to get coverage of it right now. But that's part of it is that, TV coverage is not going to be on board with something that a lot of people aren't on board with. But if it was in the middle of the day, same as the PGA Tour, I'm watching it over the PGA Tour.
Yeah, it depends what tournament's on, who's in the lead. There's a lot of factors to bring in there.
Well, no, dude, I don't even know. All the PGA Tour tournaments are okay. Not the Masters. The majors are a different story.
Yeah, and they're not going to have a live tour event during a major, so you're going to be fine.
Correct, yeah. So that's what I'm saying is all the other tournaments I could pass on. If you tell me a tournament that I won't pass on, then I'll admit it. But as of right now, I'm on Team Live. So
I think it's great. I've thought it's great from day one, and I've actually been watching Champions Tour, LPGA Tour, PGA Tour, and Live lately.
A lot of golf, yeah.
So I've been tuning into it all. I can't wait for the season to start and get out there and kick your ass.
Yeah, fair. I mean, we'll see about that. But anyways, there is a lot going on in terms of, we have a lot of new followers checking us out. So feel free to comment and tell us what you want to hear, what you want to see out of us. We're pretty new, but we're excited to keep going and keep growing and get better and better. So whatever you guys want to see, you let us know. Comment sections are open, and we're excited to get some new and fresh content out to you guys. So anything you want to hear about in the next episode, let us know. But yeah, we're gonna call it a day for this episode.
I just want to add one thing. Also, hit us up in the DMs. You want to ask us anything? It's us responding. So shoot us a message, and we're available.
Absolutely. All right. Well, you guys have a great week. We will see you guys next time. Adios.